This is the Emeet C960 Ultra. It has an aluminum body. It does 4K Ultra HD at 30 frames per second. Has a 1/1.5 inch CMOS sensor. So I was sent this camera to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you somewhere between $75 and $95. They haven't paid me for this review, and my opinion remains my own. So in the package we have the camera itself, a USB-C to C cable that includes a USB-A to C adapter, and some documentation. So most of the documentation appears to be at a website that you have to scan this QR code to access. Alright, so the camera itself feels dense. It has an aluminum body, it's metal, and it feels pretty heavy. It comes with this little stand that can clip to a laptop, and you can adjust this for kind of the angle it goes at. You can also use it just kind of on a desk. It'll hold a particular angle, so you can set it on a table and then angle it up at an angle. Now there's a privacy screen built in. You flip this back and forth, so that opens it up. That closes the iris, so you kind of have a guaranteed physical privacy screen. Now this stand is removable. They do have basically a thread here that's 1/4x20 thread. You can either use a flat-headed screwdriver or this little ring to remove that. And when you do, you could use this with something else that takes a 1/4x20 socket. So you could tripod mount this on anything with a 1/4x20 stud, so pretty much any standard photography mount. So the USB cable is not attached permanently. You just plug USB-C into the back, so you could theoretically replace this with a different cable. So it comes with a cable that's about 5 feet long, and it has a USB-A to C adapter at the other end, so that if you have a USB-A port you want to plug it into, that comes out of the box ready to go. But if you're using a C connector, you just remove that and you can plug it directly into a C port. Alright, so I was unscrewing this guy, and the little ring that mounts to these holes actually popped off. And I think that's just a matter of it needing to be pushed back in place. If I stick it on the hole and then kind of snap it into this other hole, I can keep this thing from rotating. There, I have it snapped back in the holes. So maybe take a pair of pliers and squeeze it in just a little more there. But that ring can pop out of those holes if you're twisting it. So the weight here is 140 grams. So I'm going to be evaluating this camera using Ubuntu Linux. So I'm basically using it as a hardware camera. I'm not using any of the provided drivers. So we're basically just going to see kind of what's the raw performance of this camera hardware using generic Linux camera drivers. So you can see without the cable, it's very easy just to hook that over the front of a monitor, and then you just adjust where it's pointing however you want it. So if you start to slide the hinge back a little bit, it's light enough weight that it's not like popping your laptop monitor down. Although it feels more secure up here than kind of when you're hanging off the back. I worry at some point it's going to want to pop off the back. So the rubber on it is holding pretty well. I was a little worried, when you put it back at an almost horizontal angle, it might fall off. But the rubber grippy bit in here and on there is doing a pretty good job of sticking it to the laptop there. So adding in the cable, it does not appear that the cable really negatively affects the stand and how well it's connecting to the laptop monitor. Obviously, if you yank on this thing, you can probably pull it off. So you have to be careful, if somebody's walking by you and the cable gets snagged or something. But as I said, I think it works on a laptop. I think it's really designed for desktop monitors. There's a wide range here you could fit in here. So I think a lot of people are going to be using this on a desktop monitor wired in permanently. You plug this guy in, it finds a new high-speed USB device, Emeet SmartCam C960 Ultra, and it is a UVC 1.0 device. Right, so Video for Linux Tools is showing a kind of standard set of brightness, contrast, gamma, exposure, focus, zoom controls under software control. So the default capture image format here was YUYV422. At that, max resolution is 640 by 480. So you have to change that to motion JPEG if you want to be able to transfer 4K or HD over your USB port. And at plain HD, you can do 60 frames per second. If you go up to 4K, it's going to be limited to 30 frames per second. I will be testing this camera at HD 30 frames per second. Now with horrible light, it does pretty good. There's the noisy flickering pixels that tells you that it's really trying to amplify all the light, but you can see me, you know, and this is in very low light situations, so it does pretty darn well. Obviously it's not going to look as good as in good lighting, but it's pretty visible. So this is the lighting situation from my indoors horrible lighting. I mean, there is some light coming through the light blocking curtains, but it's not a lot. I have a little bit of light coming from the side. It is much darker in here than the video camera makes it appear, so it does very well in low light situations. Alright, so indoor video conferencing with good sunlight from a window in front of me. This guy works pretty well. The focus, you know, locks in pretty good. You can, you know, focus up close. It'll focus, you know, farther away. It flips back and forth pretty easily. Color's good. Field of view's pretty decent. So with the backlight, you can still see me, but it's definitely dimmer. You have that standard backlight problem where it's hard to see what's in the foreground when it's darker than what's in the background. Now outdoor shots, the sky is a little washed out. So you can see the trees just fine. It's, you know, good views here, but if you have a lot of sky, it's too washed out. I think it's kind of optimized for indoor video conferencing. So I can set the exposure level to 1, which is manual, or 3, aperture priority. It doesn't seem to affect the behavior of the camera. Alright, so as a relatively affordable webcam with, you know, a nice body, the privacy focused shutter, the easy mount here, you know, cable, includes a USB-A adapter. This guy's a pretty good deal. It works pretty well. I was seeing this as prices of $75 while I'm shooting the video. Now, that being said, you can pay $100 more to get a camera that looks very similar and has better image quality. So I think this is perfectly good for video conferencing indoors. It was washed out a little bit on outside views, but otherwise I was pretty happy with it for, you know, indoor video conferencing. Now, I am using only the built-in Ubuntu drivers. I'm not using any of the drivers that might come with this camera. It might work better in Mac or Windows if you have drivers where it can auto-tune some things like the exposure for outside views, that type of thing.